Hey guys, it's me, Tailman. Wait. Hey guys, it's me, Happy out from Happy-Tec, and today we're reviewing the Winggun Sport 731 Snub-Nose Revolver CO2 thing. That's not me, that's pretty much, I think, the name it was, and so, yeah, there we go. So, the thing about this gun is, it's a CO2 revolver. It's not exactly the biggest, and it's considered to be like a pretty small snub nose. As you can tell here, the gun here is full metal, and it's actually very nice in the hand. It's actually essentially just the same as the other Winggun revolvers, but this one seems to be more akin to be modeled after like various snub nose revolvers, like maybe a Smith & Wesson or like Colt or something like that. I don't really know much snub nose revolvers, unfortunately, but you can definitely tell this has those origins of being a snub nose revolver. And it's actually really small in the hand. I don't have the biggest hands, obviously. I'm pretty short. I'm like 5'2", so, or 5'1", 5'2", and my hands are not that big. But it's pretty big, and it fits my hand, but not too big to where I need like all the handling I can get, and all that is fine and dandy. Now the thing about this gun is its sights are not exactly the best, but considering how it's pretty much a snub-nose revolver, I'm pretty sure you can get away with the way it works. Basically, the whole back sight is just a channel on the top of the gun here, and you pretty much just put the front sight, or at least the very tip, and pretty much, you know, line it up and all that. It's not that bad. It's like I said, it's a snub-nose revolver type deal. It's not that bad, and if you're gonna use this in an airsoft battle, it will work as a pretty good backup to your secondary if that were to go down. But just bear in mind that this is CO2 powered, and since it's non-blowback essentially, you're getting some pretty powerful FPSs. According to the box, you're getting about 380 to 400, depending on the BBs. In this case, with .2s. So it may vary, and unfortunately I have yet to actually get a chronograph to test things, so that's my bad. But as far as I can tell with the way it shoots, it's pretty powerful. And as far as I can tell with my experience shooting it, it has it gets a pretty good amount of shots, around, let's see, around 100 or more, before I start to notice it dropping down. Maybe about 80 is a good threshold before you notice the performance starts to go down a bit. The thing about this gun, it is a shell. It uses shells, so 1 BB per shell. So since there's 6 shells, there's 6 shots, as you can tell here. And it's not that bad. The gun does come with various things, like a speed loader, as you can tell here. In the box, basically. It comes with a bag of BBs that, as you can tell here, bag of BBs that we all know we should never use because they're not the greatest. It comes with a speed loader, just one, which is a nice surprise. And you basically just put the shells in the speed loader, and it allows you to speed load the revolver. And if you're crazy to use one of these in a battle like me, as a secondary, or in my case a primary, for whatever reason, you basically just drop it in, and there we go. You get 6 shots. And it's pretty fun, especially the reloading. If that's the reload time on this is pretty exhilarating. But not that bad. One thing you should note about this revolver is the hammer pull on this for your first time, if you've never been experienced to using the hammer on airsoft revolvers, or if you have before in the past. Usually they're pretty light, but the way this gun's designed to be in such a compact way, the spring is actually really heavy to pull, especially if you're not used to it. So I'm gonna let you know right now, the hammer pull for the single action is pretty heavy compared to a older version of the Winggun revolvers, or in this case like the Dan Wesson Winggun revolver type deal going on there. And the double action pull isn't that bad either, so just keep that in mind. And your CO2 access is right here in the back. This is fresh cell. And what's really nice about this gun is the way they actually managed to disguise the hex key to pierce the cartridge. They disguised it as the actual loop in the handle, which you would probably attach your lanyard to this pistol so you don't lose it. And that's actually really clever how they did it. So just put that in there and just tighten up this little loose or loop here, and you can pierce your cartridge. So I find that really nice and pretty clever and a nice little detail. Safety on the gun, if I can put the hand grip back on. There we go. Safety in this gun, you just take the cylinder release, slide it back, and you can no longer cock the gun with double action or single action. And you have to remember, if you do have it cocked, you cannot put it into safety. It can only be put into safety if it's in double action or if it's been uncocked and ready to be used in double action. So yeah. So that's about it. This gun, the Wind Gun Sport 731, or as I call it, just the Wind Gun snub-nosed revolver, is a pretty cool gun. It might not be that great for everyone because since it has a pretty short barrel, in this case like a 2-inch barrel or 3-inch, I noticed while shooting it tends to go very crazy to the left sometimes, but that could be because of my BBs I'm using. I was using .2s in the shooting video, so it could have been my fault, and don't take that with a grain of salt. That could have just been on my end, because these are pretty hard-hitting guns for what they are, since they are CO2 and non-blowback. So if you can, or if you should, use heavier gram BBs, and maybe all those issues I was experiencing with accuracy could probably be amended. So anything you see in that video, just take for a grain of salt, because I was using pretty light BBs, and .2s are becoming the .12s after a while, since just various things. So there we go. This is the Wind Gun Sport 731 by G&G, or sorry. Yeah, Wind Gun by G&G. Sort of two different, G&G did make a version like this, so that's a little fun fact there. But anyway, before I get tangent there, Sport 731 by Wind Gun, CO2 revolver. There are two versions of this, which I don't have. This one is the black and matte grayish kind of finish. There's another one with a chrome and a brown finish. One thing that bothers me, I wish they would have switched it around and gave this the brown grip and the silver the black grip. But I guess that's their subtle way of making you want to buy both, just so you can switch it out. I know I would if they had the funds, but I'm trying to hold off on doing that. So, or I could just spray paint these brown, whatever one of those two. Anyway, before I get too distracted, that's it. That's the Sport 731 revolver. It's a pretty fun gun. It's a nice blinker, and it's definitely a pretty good, solid backup to your secondary, if that's your thing. I know it would be mine. And yeah. So it's a pretty good gun. I would suggest trying to get it if you could. It's full metal. The only parts that are not plastic, which bother me, are the grips and the cylinder stop. And I've had a few Wind Guns in the past where they kind of got grounded down by the metal cylinder, and then it will misalign the barrel. So if there's one issue I wish they could make is like maybe even a third party, someone could make a third party version of that, of a cylinder stop, but that's just me. And yeah, anyway, before I get too much in a tangent there, this is it. The Sport 731 Airsoft Revolver, CO2 powered, by Wind Gun. Okay, my name is Happy Hour from Happy-Tec. If you like this video, as always you guys, be chill.